A pleasant welcome to all my dear 5th standard children. Today we are going to learn about the 4th part from your the earth, the sun and the moon chapter, right? So in the first part you learnt about the internal structure of the earth. In the second part you have learnt about the sun, and in the third part you learnt about moon, phases of moon and the people who landed on the moon as well as the spacecraft that landed on the moon, right? Okay. So now in this part we are going to learn about artificial satellites. Yes. Now what is satellite? Yes, very good. So satellites means the objects that revolve around the planets are called satellites. So the natural satellite that we have on the earth is moon, right? But what is artificial satellites? So the natural satellite is moon, of course. Artificial it refers to man-made objects, right? So what is artificial satellites means? The man-made objects that revolve around the earth is called artificial satellites. So why they are sent? Why the man-made objects are sent into the space to revolve around the earth? Yes, to gather information, to get the information about our planet, about earth. So these satellites will revolve around the earth and thereby it will take informations about the earth, right? So these objects are called as artificial satellites, right? Now let's see which is the first satellite, that is artificial satellite that went to space. So the first satellite is, this is the first satellite that went to space. So the name of the satellite is Sputnik 1. Okay. So this satellite is called Sputnik. Yes, Sputnik. So which was launched by Russia. So this is the first satellite that went to space to take information about the earth, right? So here you can see the Sputnik 1, right? And India has also launched the first satellite, right? So the first satellite which was launched by India is, this is the first satellite launched by the India. So the name of the satellite which was launched by India is Aryabhatta. Aryabhatta in the year 1975. So in the year 1975, Aryabhatta is the first satellite which was launched by India to gather information about earth, right? So this is the first satellite, right? So after the Aryabhatta, we have sent many more satellites till now. So followed after Aryabhatta, followed by many more satellites. Example, Bhaskara, Rohini, INSAT 2A, Cartosat, right? So these are all the satellites that was launched by India. So what is the main use of these satellites? So these satellites are used to forecast the weather, right? So of course in the news and all we are going, they are giving informations about the weather, right? So the cyclone is going to come after 3 days, after 4 days. How they are detecting? It's because of the satellite. The satellite will take the pictures the informations about the earth, and through the satellites we get the information. So the satellites, the the artificial satellites are used to forecast weather, and also it is used to transmit signals through mobiles, televisions, right. So how we get television, how we get the channels, how we get informations through the mobile. So all the your internet, so everything is due to the satellites. So with the help of satellites we do many informations about earth, right. And also we learn more about earth. So how we can able to understand, there are some burning, Amazon forest is burning, right. So how all these things are, we come to know us through the satellites only, right. So this is what about artificial satellites, right. Now just the, for example, the non-living things like the spacecrafts. So you learned there are spacecrafts that went to space, right, but there are human beings also that went to space, right. So the first person, the first man who went to space, who go to space, so his name is Yuri Gagarin, okay. He is a Russian, he is from Russia. So his name is Yuri Gagarin. So he is the first man. First man to go to space, and she is the first woman to go to space. So she is also from Russia. So her name is Valentina Tereshkova. So she is the first woman So she is the first woman to go to space, right? So both are from Russia. So these are the first, they are the first man and women to go to space. Now we learned worldwide, right? So now let's see from India, who is the person that went to space, right? So the first Indian man to go to space, he is the person, his name is Rakesh Sharma. So Rakesh Sharma. So first Indian. So he is the first Indian to go to space, and the first woman to go to space, the first Indian woman, right? So her name is Kalpana Chawla. So she is the first woman, Indian woman. He is first Indian man to go to space. She is the first Indian woman to go to space. His name is Rakesh Sharma. Her name is Kalpana Chawla, right? So you learned about what is artificial satellites and what are the use of the artificial satellites, and what are the artificial satellites that has been launched first worldwide as well as from India. And you also learned some more other Indian artificial satellites also, and also you learned the persons who went to space, who go to space. The first man, the first woman, the first Indian man, the first Indian woman, right? So these are all the things that will be asked in your 2-mark question as well as in your 1-mark question. So the first spacecraft that was launched, the first artificial satellites, everything they will ask, which is the first artificial satellite, which is the first spacecraft to go to space. So, if they ask generally, you have to answer Sputnik 1. But if they ask specifically the first Indian satellite to go to space or the first Indian spacecraft that went to space, means you can answer the Aryabhatta, right. So, if they are asking specifically about Indian persons, you have to answer man means Indian man means Rakesh Sharma, Indian women means Kalpana Chawla. And if they are generally asking first man to go to space means Yuri Gagarin, and first women to go to space is Valentina Tereshkova, right. So, this is what in this session you have learned, right. So, in the next part we will learn about what is eclipse and what are the types of eclipse, right. So, hope this class is useful for you. Go through the lesson, go through the informations and take the study material and copy in your science subject note. So, once you are thorough with the lesson, take the study self-assessment and do the self-assessment. So, once you do the self-assessment, you will come to know how far you have understood about the chapter, right. So, hope this class is useful for you. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.